Out here in the Wild West, life could change in a single moment. This story is about a tired gunslinger, a woman trapped by fear, and the one choice that changed everything. Sit back, grab your coffee, and let's ride into this Wild West story of courage, heartbreak, and redemption. The town of Dust Creek wasn't much to look at. A few shacks, a saloon, and a well that was running dry. People there kept their heads down. One hot afternoon, a lone rider came through. His horse was thin. His coat was worn. His face was hidden under a wide-brim hat. At the well he saw her. A young woman carrying a bucket, her hands shaking. She looked at him, eyes wide with warning. "Don't come closer," she whispered. "They'll kill you if they see you with me." The stranger stopped. Something in her voice told him the truth. She was in danger. He asked her quietly, "Who's they?" She glanced at the hills. "Outlaws. A gang that ruled Dust Creek with fear. They watch me," she said. "Every step. If they see me talking to you, you're a dead man." The stranger could have left. He could have ridden on, the way he always had. But his voice was steady when he said, "Let them come. I've been running long enough." Her name was Clara. She wasn't just another ranch girl. She was the one Mason Crow, the gang's ruthless leader, wanted for himself. No one dared stop Mason. No one dared speak to Clara. Until today. "You don't even know me," she said, testing him. The stranger gave a small smile. "I don't need to. I can see you're not theirs. That's enough." For the first time in a long while, Clara felt hope. By sundown, the gang heard the news. Clara had spoken with the stranger. Mason Crow rode into town with his men. He downed a glass of whiskey in the saloon and snarled, "Find him. And bury him." The townsfolk hid behind closed doors. Nobody warned the stranger. Not because they hated him, but because they were scared. Dust Creek had lived under fear too long. That night, Clara found him by the stables. "You should go," she whispered. "They'll never stop until you're dead." The stranger cleaned his revolver slowly. His voice was tired. "Trouble's been following me all my life. Mason Crow's just another shadow." Clara saw the scars on his chest, the bullet wound near his ribs. He wasn't just a drifter. He was a man who carried battles with him. Battles he never spoke about. Before dawn, the gang made their move. 3 men crept into the stables, knives ready. But the stranger wasn't sleeping. He was waiting. Bang. One outlaw dropped. Bang. Another fell. The last man stumbled, clutching his stomach before collapsing in the straw. Clara stared at him in shock. "You could have run," she whispered. The stranger shook his head. "Running's all I've ever done. Not anymore." By midday, Mason Crow himself rode into town with his full gang, 10 men strong. The streets emptied. People hid inside. Only Clara stood on the wooden walkway, hands trembling. Mason stepped down from his horse, boots crunching in the dirt. "You should have left, stranger," he sneered. "Now Dust Creek will remember you as another fool buried here." The stranger walked into the street, revolver low at his side. "Dust Creek's been buried long enough," he replied. The showdown was set. The first shots cracked like thunder. Glass shattered. Dust rose in clouds. The stranger moved quick, each shot steady. 2 outlaws dropped. Then 3. But there were too many. Bullets whizzed past him. His shoulder burned from a hit. Still, he didn't stop. Clara screamed. But instead of hiding, she acted. She grabbed a lantern from the saloon and hurled it into the street. Flames erupted, splitting the gang apart. Through the smoke, the stranger pressed on. Until only Mason Crow was left. The fire died down. The dust settled. 2 men faced each other in the street, the stranger and Mason Crow. "You think you're some kind of hero?" Mason spat. The stranger's eyes were calm. "No. Just a man who's tired of running." The silence broke with one shot. When the smoke cleared, Mason Crow lay still in the dirt. The gang scattered without their leader. The people of Dust Creek stepped out into the sunlight, free for the first time in years. Clara ran to the stranger, tears streaming down her face. "You saved us," she whispered. He shook his head. "No. You saved yourselves. I just made a choice." He tipped his hat, mounted his horse, and rode toward the horizon. Some Wild West stories are about love. Some are about justice. But this one? This one is about a man who finally stopped running. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Every week, we bring you more Wild West stories of grit, courage, and redemption.